everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
We're at the oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Ebron with it over the middle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. On this offensive unit, one guy that's proven himself early in the NFL is Eric Ebron.
A very reliable target for a quarterback. They always love tight ends because they're right in their sight lines. If you get it to this guy, though, he can take it the distance.
2nd down now after the pass completion. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he connects with Ebron. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he stopped immediately there. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. So the Lions go backwards there, and unfortunately that's something they saw a lot in 2015. They had the fewest rushing yards of any team in the NFL.
That's one of those dubious titles that no one really wants to claim. Even team
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll be 4th down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area. But they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
This is taken at about the 14. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 13 yards there on the pickup. And it'll be a Green Bay 1st down. They'll look to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a cut to the sideline. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's their quarterback taking it in. And the Packers have taken the early lead. So he's able to sneak it in, and credit to the guys up front.
Oh, without a doubt, because they have the leverage on this play. We always talk about low man wins and one-on-one battles. That's exactly what happened there. Their offensive line, lower than the defensive front.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time, which is punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. Took the words right out of my mouth. Shift together here from the D-line. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. 3rd down now following the run. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
This is brought in at the 21. Terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game. Ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days. Offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, and they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here. And on the ground they go with a running back. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's 2nd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Give him 6 on the play, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Calling a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come up in an offset eye. He'll drop to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
They'll look to throw. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And fit's the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
A good run on 1st down, and now they contemplate a 2nd and goal situation.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at it.
And they're going to get to him, a sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. And not a good time for the sack on 2nd and goal, a loss of 6. And now it's 3rd down. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will make our score 9-0. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline, somewhat happy.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. We focus our attention on the Green Bay defense as they head out. They got the stop last time that resulted in a punt, and then it resulted in 3 for their offense.
And this is one time where the defense won't get credit for creating points, but that's exactly what they did. All right, forced them into a punt, turned it over to their offense, and guess what? Points went on the board.
Points went on the board, 3 of them. Now they'll be looking for another stop. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And when you're trying to set up a counter play, that's what a lot of people call an influence play. You're really hoping those defensive linemen are really agile that day. If they stayed out late the night before the game, they're not moving as fast, it's a lousy call because that means they're just going to sit in the hole that you have to create just by the movement of your offensive line.
And there they got the ball to the outer third of the field, but tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, things get stacked up in there if they don't move as well as you want them to, and probably just trying to escape and couldn't get away.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Let's go. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get 9 there as that sets up. Up better for third down. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
And now inside the red zone, the offense will operate. Now Hundley. Escaping the pressure right. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And eventually stopped just shy of the goal line right around the 2.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. A great effort there. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. On the return, here comes Amir Abdullah. Still on his feet. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
It's a gain of 9 yards, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. The first run for the backup, Abdullah. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Here's Ginn. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Packer drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, How do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed, and that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there, 77 yards, and the Packers add on to their lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Anytime there's an open target and there's a reception, the next thing you're looking for, the ability to break a tackle and gain additional yardage. That's what we just saw.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They come up in an offset eye. And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, he's got a little daylight. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Every now and then when we see a really good run, we really tend to focus on what other people did in order for that run to happen, what the offensive line did, what the receivers did to help. Sometimes the running back's pretty good, too. And on that play, he picked up a lot of good yardage and made it happen with great effort.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Can't find it, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Their dangerous wide receiver, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
As the offense went on the field to start their last drive, you know they discussed in the huddle, hey, if we put one in the end zone here, we've put ourselves in a position to start making a comeback.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Throwing, Hundley. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Smart approach there, using the run to pick up the first. That was a defensive setup they prepared for this week, knowing that keeping it on the ground is the best way to attack it.
And that means also that they're able to read them pretty well. All the things they prepared for, when they get to the line of scrimmage, they see it in pre-snap recognition and know exactly how to attack based on their planning and preparation.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Larry Ridley will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before that. He's going to let this one go. And this is taken in at the 5. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Well, they have the yards anyway, so they're going to decline the penalty. Now Barth for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. So quick on the spin.
He's spinning, man.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. Here's Patty. He's got time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And the defense will try and pin their ears back and get pressure again here after the sack. It's 3rd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. A loss. Now the Packers going to take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Now it's Ginn. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And they went big on 1st down. Proves unfruitful.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He rifles one that's intercepted. And some room to work. Picked off by Tavon Wilson. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. They'll set up a throw, and that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards. Yeah, that's perfect. 2, Davis, deep. I gotta go. Okay, and sorry about that. Didn't know Larry got cut off early. We are back and ready for the 3rd quarter. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. You have to love and admire the effort because he almost broke free in the backfield, but you also have to love and admire what the defense did. Swung the play and made sure he couldn't get anywhere, a loss of yardage.
And some space here. Cuts back left sideline. And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Let's go!
Now Hundley. And he's got it. Got his man on the end route. Complete. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Come on, let's go! Ohio! Watch twist! Ohio!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Finding time. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And he fields it cleanly. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Lions will take over. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because that's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains.
Amir Abdullah. Touchdown, Detroit. Amir Abdullah ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness to it? Just getting there and taking off and going. For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
And this is going to be caught, so they do get it. And the 2 points, now they're back down to a one-score deficit. And that almost makes it a brand-new ballgame. Now it's a one-score affair after they get the 2.
And you have to know they were holding their breath on the 2-point play because they had to have it to get it within the range that you just talked about. Dialed up their 2-point play. It worked. Now they're feeling like they've got a shot at this one.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first. They're going to hurry back to the line now. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches, and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and they ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
And quickly, they get to the line. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. Touchdown, Packers. Marquise Goodwin, 27 yards. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And that touchdown drive happened very, very quickly. You knew that they had the quick strike ability. They showed it.
And for a defense that understands that, it still drives them crazy when it actually happens to them. Fast and furious. There came the points.
Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result, a Green Bay score. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But what about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And it's hauled in by Ben Watson. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Here's Petty. Wide open receiver complete. Give him 16 on the pickup, and it'll be first down Detroit. So the offense has it 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Petty now. He's got time in the pocket. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Surveying the field. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Let's hope it's not anything that'll keep him out of the opener. We'll be right back. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good kick there, and they finish off the drive with 3.
And that should be the goal for an offense. Finish each drive with points. So that's a nice job there to come away with at least something.
This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this across the 25. A couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there.
It's nothing but pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Throwing, Hundley, going for the deep ball. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
You can feel the anguish all the way up here. It certainly looked like he had that one in the end zone, open, unable to hold on to it.
So a ways to go here on 3rd and 10. They'll come out in the pistol. He'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
The days of knowing your assignment, dropping to it, and calling it a day, that's over with. Because now, when you drop into a zone, especially as a defensive back, you're seeing the play in front of you. So if a man wanders into your area, guess what? Now it goes from zone to man-to-man coverage in many cases. And on this particular play, able to see the play in front of him, react to it, and knock the ball away. Gotta like what you just saw there if you like zone defense.
And this is incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Lions will take over. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently. And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike." But that certainly felt like an example of a defense just saying, okay, we've had enough. We've gotten mashed all night long. About time we got a good play in. But flip it over to the offensive side. They've got to be really upset that they allowed a play like that to happen. They were pitching such a great game, they want to keep it going.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Throws a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a two tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the two tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see two tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he showcased the spin, but couldn't do much else as he's wrangled down. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
This will be caught at about the 6. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offense coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
And now whistles here and a flag down. Looked like someone got going a little early. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series, 3rd and 13.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
And he dropped it. Now it was tipped, altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it, and now 4th down.
That one was thrown into the end zone, and when they made a play on the ball, it was actually tipped up in the air. And that's not ideal for anyone on defense because what you're ordinarily taught is to knock the ball down towards the ground, almost like a volleyball player coming over the top and spiking it to make sure that the offensive guys can't catch it on the rebound.
So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, so no problems converting there.
1 second remains now in this third quarter. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. Second down following the run.
There we go.
Now Hundley. It's brought in right side by Ginn. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Let's go. 38.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Nine yards still remaining here to pick up the first on 2nd down. Time running out here on the play clock. And to give this time to the tailback. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40. The first down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe-tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, there's no doubt that this is a huge defensive series right here. They've got to hold them to a field goal attempt or less. Otherwise, this game just might be out of reach. Let's see if they can hunker down and get it done.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great play there. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Packers add on to their lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that, because the scouting report told you this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Here's Petty. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. And a quick throw here, that's complete. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's third down. So it is third down now, but less than a yard to go. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And Tate's got it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll result in a fresh set of downs. So he makes the grab and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Benjamin Watson from 6 yards away. And the Lions are able to draw a bit closer. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last time when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out. Well, he didn't make headway on that one, but he's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Throwing, Hundley. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. 10 yards to go on 3rd. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Got the hand caught up in the grill of the face mask, 15-yard penalty.
So tough for a defender. You're trying so hard to make a play, and the way that these offensive guys can move around, sometimes your hand gets into the wrong place.
To throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. He'll look to throw. And his throw is incomplete. Amir Abdullah, the intended target, and it's third down.
There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took a snap, he counted in his head for certain routes, different time frames for each one, and he knew if the ball wasn't out.
Touchdown, Detroit! A big play there, 48 yards. And the Lions are a two-point conversion away from tying this game. All right, now a big two-point conversion attempt still to come.
And there's the touchdown, partner. We just saw it. What do you do now? Oh, yeah, of course you know what you do. You're going for two, right?
I think anytime you're inside of 2 minutes in this situation, you try for two.
And remember, let's go back to training camp. Every team we talked to said they spend more time now on two-point conversion periods than they ever have before.
Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
He's back to throw, and it's caught. And with it, we are tied here in the fourth. Huge conversion there to tie this thing up, but they're not done yet. Their defense needs to get a stop.
Yeah, there's still plenty of time for the other team to come downfield and put some points on the board, but job one was taken care of, the two-point conversion to get this thing tied.
The Lions defense now back onto the field. They're trying, Charles, just to simply preserve this tie at this point. I mean, well, they take a turnover, pick six, but they're trying to hold on to that tie.
No doubt about it, and they have to stay on alert here in case they try and run something big. Some teams are really gamblers. They want to get after it a little bit, make sure that doesn't happen. And also, if you're the offensive team, you might think to yourself, let's just get to overtime. Yeah. Take a knee and let's get out of here.
Well, they have a decision. They could play it conservative or maybe a little more liberal. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd run to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds. And there was a good opportunity that just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Now Hundley, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's caught inside the 30. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. It's just their first. They've got two more to use here in the final stages. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll look to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And we're going to get another timeout called by the Lions. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And as the fourth quarter winds down here, we're all even.
And no one wants this game to extend. They want to go ahead and win it right now.
Back to throw again. And that's incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's third down. On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to and that's going to be caught. Touchdown. And they've broken our tie here in the final minute.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. After the touchdown, Barth now to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. They'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And now the spike comes with 15 seconds on the clock. And on 2nd and 10 now. Back to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Here's Penny. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Well, Charles.